metal. Oh, hell yes.
What's going on, everybody? We're out here in the middle of the woods with our good old friend Polaris. Haven't had a Polaris on the channel in quite some time, so I figured it was time to film a video with one of these older Polarises. This is a buddy of mine's. He has needed a little bit of work done to it, so we got it in the shop. Figured we'd take it out for a little test drive, shake it down, see what's all wrong with it. This is a 2004 Polaris 700 Sportsman. It boy, it got a lot of go, not a lot of turning though. The turning on these ones is notorious for being rough to turn these things. We've just been out here just doing a little ripping with it, seeing if what's all loose, what all needs to be tightened down, and shake the oil up a little bit before we change that. Wanted to get on here and post the video. It's been a little bit since we've done a video. I've got a bunch of Roush videos coming up. Just been a little busy with the holidays and everything. You know how it goes. So anyway, enjoy the riding footage. We'll catch up with you here shortly. got the filter changed, the oil drained, and we're putting the new oil back in. We're going to be doing a little bit of work on the old Yamaha DX today. A while back, I put a new throttle on it, or thumb throttle, and we have the original. This one's pretty sweet, but the cable is not really set up for this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to completely rebuild the old existing one that we have here. So we got to get it all apart. It's all froze up, all that jazz. We got a brand new throttle cable for it. So not only are we going to do that, but we are going to pull the carburetor off this too. So that way we can test everything out. We got to set up the slide just right and everything. So we got to pull that bad boy off there. So a lot of fun. I'll be putting you on the stand here and doing a time lapse here shortly. I'm going to get the oil change done first, and then we'll be back. All right, now we have the carburetor off. We're going to go ahead and disassemble the carburetor and give it a good cleaning. Might as well do it now while it's off. And then we're going to start working on the cap here, because we got to get the cap to accept the new throttle cable. And we'll do another time lapse here and show you how we disassemble the carburetor. We're going to get into it. So the next thing that we got to do here is we've got this cap. This is the carburetor cap that came with the DX. Now, you know, the way things work in this field is who knows if that's the original carburetor or not, because I mean, this thing was found in a field. Somebody could have done what we're doing to it beforehand. Anyway, this is the brand new throttle cable that was OEM spec for the Yamaha DX. So what we got to do is we got to figure out what's going on with this cap here, and we got to get this thing to seat properly in this cap, so that way it sits in the carburetor with the spring on it and the needle. So we're gonna mess around with that, see what happens. I mean, we've been able to get that sleeve out, but see, the whole thing looks completely different, because that doesn't even seem to really fit on there, does it? You know, it looks like something got broke off at some point, so who knows if this is even the original cap. One thing I can tell you is that looks like it's way too long, and that does not fit in there. Well, my question is, can we do this? Yeah, it almost needs to thread onto something. We're definitely missing a part here, but we'll take a look at it here. Let's get into it. Anyway, I rigged up this little bar here to hold my throttle, so that way I can check the throw on it. Right now it is completely extended out. which it shouldn't be that way. And over here, you can see, look how much distance from the cap to this there is. And when I pull it, I mean, it pulls it up, but I'm thinking that once this is capped on and it's in, look how that's popping out, it's going to be way too much. So we're going to have to figure out a way to shorten up this cable so that way we can make it work. Yeah, I'll get back to you here after I take a look at it and see what I can do. Carburetor's about to be finished up, so we'll be putting that up on a vise here, and then actually hooking it up inside the carburetor so we can see just how it's functioning inside the carburetor, if it's closing, opening, you know, all that jazz. So it is as I thought. Something broke off and isn't on that carburetor the way it should be. If you look right here, you can see that tube. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit here. There we go. You can see this tube is missing. So we're going to probably have to manufacture that damn tube, which kind of sucks because it puts it on an angle here, which allows the throttle cable to have plenty of pull. So we're going to have to figure this out before we can go any further with the carburetor. So yeah, it's always handy to have your manual so that way you can see everything that you're missing. Okay, yeah, so you're going to love this. This is the choke for the carburetor. If you notice the tube here, see how that tube is? That tube is exactly what we need here. It might not be the perfect angle, but it is of the angle that we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to switch this out for the carburetor, and then being this is just the choke, we're going to try to rig something up here instead of rigging up something here. If all this doesn't work, then we'll just put it all back together and order. I don't know if we'll order a new carburetor. It's always nice to have two carburetors for these projects. But I did find where I could source just this cap with the tube. So I'll probably order that part, which will shut us down on doing a carburetor today. But we'll have an answer, and it'll be done right. Well, now we have two hurdles ahead of us. Number one is here's the slide for the cap right here. Now, if you look on the inside of the slide of the cap, see that right there? I don't know if you can see it, but that right there is the old sleeve got broke off inside that. It's probably rusted in there. So we're going to have to battle that to try to get that old little sleeve out of there, or tube out of there. And then the second thing is going to be getting the actual throttle cable here through that tube. The pin on the end of it does not want to seat or go through. I had to battle that one just to get it out. So it's going to be kind of tricky. But we're going to go to work on it because, I mean, why not? Because all I got to do is just order another one if it fails. Okay, one of two problems are solved. We were able to drill out the little cap in here so that way we can get the new sleeve in there. Now the next problem is going to be getting the throttle cable through that tube, which is going to be a pain. Only got to do it once. Hopefully it's done. Then we're going to have to figure out something for the choke again, but you know, this was not the original choke cable that was on it, so we're going to have to source a new choke cable. Okay, what we had to do is heat her up a little bit and give it a good bend so that way we can get this knob on the end of that through. See that? So we can get that to slide through. We're probably going to have to heat it up and put it back in there, but now I want to check, make sure the threads work. If that don't work, then, well, we're starting over again. Here we are. It did thread up, so that worked out. The cap fits right on that thing. We have a little less there of our little lead now. Now we'll have to adjust this back out. But now we're going to have to put a good 90-degree bend on that while it's on there. So hopefully we can do that without pinching the cable. If we can do that, then we're made in the shade. Then we can start hooking the carb up and see if that needle closes and everything functions the way it should. Then we got to resource a choke cable and figure that out. Finishing up the carburetor here. Well, not finishing. I still got to work on the choke. And we've gone through, we put a brand new OEM cable on it, which it actually is, because with the right part that was for this, it should have worked without a problem. Was a little bit of a bear to get that part in there, but we got that part in there. Everything seems real tight. Once we tighten everything down, it'll be good. We got the slide in there. Carburetor's fully clean and back together. So now when I push the throttle, if you look, see that slide is opening. This is full throttle right here. So that's like everything wide open. So I mean, there's no restriction on this bad boy. It's just gonna go wow. So anyway, it's all working the way it should be. This was completely froze up. We replaced it with another one. We're going to put the original back on after we do some painting and stuff to that. The carburetor itself is working really good. So it looks like we're ready to go. Let's fix that choke up and we'll be done. All right, to wrap up today's video, we have reworked the throttle on it. We have made a new choke cable, like all the way cable. See how long it holds up. Might cause me an issue. Might have to order one. But we had to kind of fab up a little tube here to kind of rig it up. But it's working, and it seems to close all the way. So everything should be good there. So the next thing to do is to, well, we're going to do a little cleaning first. And before I hook the car, well, actually I can do all that afterward. We're going to go ahead and do some cleaning and then get the carburetor all set back up, gas tank back on, put some fresh fuel in it, and give it a couple pulls. See what happens. So yeah, here we are. We got the carburetor all jazzed back up on there. We got the throttle cable ran to the original throttle, which is kind of cool. It's all freed up now, ready to rock. Moment of truth. Got everything hooked up. Chokes in. Throttle seems to be working good. We're going to turn the gas on here and make sure that our float's working right. Let's go to. We should see some gas going in. Yeah, we are going to have to adjust our float. We're definitely getting some gas out of her. Well, I figured out what it was. So what happened is when I rebuilt the carburetor, I did not reset the ignition, or the idle screw, sorry. So idle screw was all the way closed. So as I've been trying to start it, it's not been letting any fuel into the cylinder. Now, so yeah, we still got quite a bit of work to do on the DX. We're gonna go through everything, you know, do the whole oil change, check the valves, rework all the brakes. I got all new brake stuff for it, redo all the electrical on it, so that way we can actually use this e-start, which would be kind of cool. But all that's for another video. We're not gonna have time to get to it on this one. Kawasaki, we're waiting on parts coming for that, and then eventually we'll be doing that one. As you can tell, we got this bad boy to first pole, so we're back up and ready to go. We'll catch you in the next one, all right?
Hillbilly hot. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.